Senator Murray, who is the...
Go ahead if you want to.
No, I know where the bread's buttered. I'm going to yield to Senator Murray, the chair of the full committee.
Well, thank you very much, Chairman Tester, Vice Chair Collins. Really appreciate it. And we really are fortunate to have two really tremendous leaders steering this subcommittee. So I'm grateful to both of you. And I'm very glad to join today's hearing with you as we continue to work towards regular order here in the Senate for the first time in years. And as Senator Collins and I have made very clear, we have a responsibility to work in a timely fashion to write the bipartisan bills that will fund our country, build us as a stronger country, and make our communities safer, and ensure that we stay ahead of our global competitors. And the conversations that we're having today, including this hearing, really help us show how we are going to make those investments decisions here in D.C. that will help strengthen our country and protect our families, which, as we all know, is especially important when China and others are making significant investments in their own Navy and military right now. And if we're going to keep pace with those countries, we have to work together to get a bipartisan funding bill done. So I'm really glad to have this opportunity to hear from the witnesses today about the President's budget request for the Navy and Marines, particularly how we can make sure we are supporting our service members and their families. And we need to remember that includes making sure that our military families, as you just alluded to, get things like child care and mental health care and good housing and schools and a lot more, because at the end of the day, our best naval ships can't go very far without the brave men and women who are willing to put themselves on the front lines to keep our country safe. So with that, I do have some questions for you today. And Admiral Gilday, I'd like to start with you because in February, seismic deficiencies were found at 3 of the dry docks, as you know, at Puget Sound Naval Shipyard in Bremerton and the Delta Pier at the Trident Refit Facility in Bangor, two very critical facilities in my home state of Washington. And as a result, submarines were prohibited from using 3 of those 6 dry docks at Puget Sound and the only dry dock at Bangor. Puget Sound Naval Shipyard is the primary location for attack submarine and aircraft carriers maintenance, as we know, on the West Coast. So I wanted to ask you today, how exactly is the Navy working with Puget Sound Naval Shipyard and Trident Refit Facility to plan and implement the near-term mitigation, and what resources do you need to have to accomplish that?
Thank you, ma'am. We're making good progress right now on the repairs in three of those facilities. So the first one at TRF Bangor will be complete in June. That's the most substantial work that we're doing, essentially repairing both sides of the entire dry dock. The 2 other docks will be finished in April and May, and so they're progressing well. And we're focused there on those portions of the dock that are closest to the nuclear power plant in the submarines. We actually put them up in the dry dock. There is a $300 million request in my unfunded list. As you know, that was a late add that didn't make it into the budget, and so I request your help there. Longer term, we'll be looking at other upgrades that we need to make in order to ensure the seismic resiliency of that facility. As you stated, we really count on it in terms of providing submarine maintenance for the fleet.
So the $300 million is for the short term. That's your request?
Yes, it is.
And then longer term?
So longer term, too early for me to state what that requirement is. We are right now scoping the long-term repairs in conjunction with the PSYOP work that we're planning up there as well. Okay. So we want to make sure that it's seismically resilient.
Okay, and you will stay in touch with us on what that's
Absolutely, ma'am.
Okay. Secretary Del Toro, back in 2021, it was announced that Naval Station Everett had been designated as the future home port for 12 Constellation-class frigates scheduled to be delivered in 26. That's great news. The Navy's long-term commitment to Everett and Snohomish County, my state, is really clear. But as we get close to that date, we need to make sure that not only the Navy has the resources they need, but the Everett community also has the support it needs to accommodate the influx of sailors and their families. Are those still on track to arrive in 2026?
We're currently looking at the laydown plans, ma'am, for all of our ships, given the increasing Indo-Pacific threat that we face. I myself have visited the Puget Sound area and looked at all the different infrastructure issues that are at play there, and we're looking and discussing with the CNO exactly what investments need to be made over the next several years so that we can move in the right direction, including greater support for the hospital in the Puget Sound area as well, too. And if I could just briefly comment and thank you for your leadership as well as the collaboration that we've had with the community of Puget Sound as we actually moved very aggressively to effect the repairs to the dry docks very expeditiously. It's been nothing but a great relationship.
Thank you very much. And just really quickly, Mr. Chairman, if I could just ask the Secretary again about the Navy suicide rate, nearly 17 deaths per 100,000 sailors. That's just devastating. Does the President's budget request support any additional mental health?
Very much so, ma'am. And in the Department of the Navy's budget, we actually have additional funds, upwards of $200 million that are dedicated to this. And in addition to the actual human element of actually trying to bring everyone together to try to solve this very, very grave problem that we face as a nation and as a Navy as well, too.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Collins.
Thank you, Ms.